Today we'll teach you about the unit circle and tips for easy memorization. First, we'll start off with degrees. The easiest way to remember degrees is by adding 30, 15, 15, 30. You start off with 0 degrees and add 30, which makes 30 degrees. Plus 15 is 45, plus 15 is 60, plus 30 is 90. And you continue this pattern throughout the whole circle. Continuing this pattern, you'll start from 90. You'll add 30 to 90 and get 120. You'll add 15 to 120 and get 135. Add 15 to 135 and get 150, and add 30 to 150 to get 180. You'll continue this pattern all the way throughout the whole circle until you get 360 degrees. Next, you have the radians. In order to do the radians, you will start from 0 and add 1/2. First, you'll have pi over 2. Next is pi. Again, adding 1/2, you'll get 3 pi over 2. And lastly, you'll get 2 pi. In order to do the denominators for the radians, you need to remember the numbers 2, 3, 4, 6. Starting from the top, you see pi over 2. From there, you'll go 3, 4, and 6. And you continue this pattern all throughout the circle. Remember, when you start from the top, you go down 3, 4, 6. When you start from the bottom, you go up 3, 4, 6. In both quadrants. The unit circle is broken into 4 quadrants. Quadrants 1, 2, 3, and 4. This comes in handy next. First is quadrant 1. Remember, you just put pi as the numerator in each one of these. Next is quadrant 2. In this quadrant, you'll put 1 less than the denominator as the numerator and add pi. Next is quadrant 3. In this quadrant, you put 1 more than the denominator as the numerator and add pi. Lastly is quadrant 4. In this quadrant, a little memorization is needed. You need to remember 3, 5, 7, 11, because those are the first odd numbers, and then you add pi. Next is the coordinates of the unit circle. A unit circle has a radius of 1. On the x-axis, we know it's 1, 0 and -1, 0. On the y-axis, it goes up and down. Therefore, it'll be 0, 1 and 0, -1. For the rest of the unit circle, you'll put the denominator of 2 in each coordinate. For the numerators and the coordinates of the unit circle, you will remember in, out, in, out. Whenever you have a denominator of 3, you will always have 1/2 as the first x value. Then you will have square root of 3 over 2 as your y value. Whenever you have a denominator of 6, you will always have square root of 3 over 2 as your x value. Why? Because 3 times 2 is equal to 6. Next, your y value will be 1/2 because it is always paired. Anything with a denominator of 4 will be square root 2 over 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. Pi over 6 has a denominator of 6, so square root 3 over 2 will be first, and it's always paired with 1 over 2. Lastly, you'll have pi over 3. The denominator is 3, so you know 1/2 will be first, and it's always paired with square root of 3 over 2. You will continue this pattern throughout the circle. In order to know which numbers are negative or positive, you look at the quadrants. In quadrant 1, all numbers will be positive. Quadrant 2, the x value will be negative. In quadrant 3, both values, x and y, will be negative. And in quadrant 4, you will have a negative value in the y coordinate. The unit circle is now finished. I hope these tricks helped you memorize the unit circle easier.
You were like 15 degrees. 0.